and then Hitler. Anyway, welcome.
You know, that's 2 episodes in the last month where you've dropped that word within the first
because it's funny.
sentence.
It's funny. I mean,
well, wasn't funny to some.
No. Look, well, I shouldn't have said it was
You're
funny.
fucked.
It's anyway, Lincoln, cut that out. And I'm gonna stop. Hang on, I can stop now. Hang on, stop. So
fucking producer.
Welcome back to the two Montys.
Starving.
This is episode 47, I think. You're starving.
Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, starving.
Yeah, welcome to episode 47. I shouldn't have said that. It might not be episode 47. Cut that out, Lincoln, if it doesn't work. Lincoln's not here. I've been left in charge of running this shit show today. Have you got a special guest entering? You just saw you looking over your shoulder there.
No, I was just looking around. I was like, I got some fun things in my office I could show the world.
Oh, good.
It's not dildos.
So
They're all downstairs.
Yeah, good. Are you at home?
Yeah. I was supposed to go to Boggabilla, hay baling and truck driving, but they're getting fucked by this rain, which is not real good. Some poor bastards have lost. Oh, right. So you're home. We could have been. Yeah, right.
Except
Jake's a bit hectic. Yeah. Anyway, so we've got
but anyway,
hectares on the ground already, which is about 700 bales, and it's all wet now, so not going yet. Does
that mean it's fucked?
Well, no, they've not had too much on the paddock, but like I said, some blokes, like they had chickpeas get 80 mils on them last week, like 600 grand worth of crop straight in the fucking ground. So it's a lot of very sad bloody coffees out west. But anyway,
well, anyway, that's been.
This is cool, isn't it?
That's our landline talk for this week. What am I looking at? Remember, we're a mostly audio medium, mate. Tell the people what they're looking at.
This is a photo that got turned into a little artwork thing of me and my best friend Mel and her husband Nat at their wedding, and she gifted this to me for my birthday or Christmas or something. And it's in my office, and I love it.
She gifted a photo of us. She gifted a photo of herself to you for your birthday. That's nice of her.
No, it's very cute.
No, it is.
Actually, so Mel's dad. So back at the farm, everyone's got a paddock. Like all the kids got paddocks named after them. So there's Mel's paddock, Corinne's Corner, Beck's Bridge. Anyway, and then a little while later, they came up with one for me, which I'm so happy with the name.
Yeah?
Robert is not. Because every time the cattle have to get moved into the paddock, I pretend like I don't know where they're going, and I know perfectly well that they're going to Montys Knob.
Yeah.
They're just blowing up every time, and it wasn't me that named it. Corinne named
hilarious.
it, and I'm so proud of her for it. So just put those cows up in your paddock.
That's excellent.
Where? Oh, for fuck, are you going to make me say it? Yeah. Fucking Montys Knob, you know where to go. So good.
That is good. That's good. So
what's
you told
happening
me
with you?
You had heaps of things on a list to talk about. Oh, fuck all, mate.
I do.
I'm obviously back home. We talked about the holiday, and then I'm just trying to get back into weddings, and I thought I'd had everything, like all my ducks in a row, so I'd come home and everything was square and there was no rush on paperwork, etc. And and then I get an email here or there that says just wondering, and I'm like, yeah, we'll do that right away. No worries, that's fine. We'll sort it right out right now. So I've got a bit of that going on at the moment.
Yeah, I've got maybe half a dozen left to do the bloody paperwork. Like they've sent it all through. I just haven't actually generated it all and got it in their file. So I got about half a dozen to go for the rest of the year to do that, and then I'm on top of the admin, which is good. But so I've just been overseas for a week, which has been lovely. Yeah, Moreton Island.
Is that true? Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Twice you've said that, and I'm like, have I fucking missed something? Like, what's happening?
Well, literally had to go over the sea, so I didn't go to fucking Thailand for 6 weeks, but I did go off the coast of Brisbane. Have you been to Moreton before?
No, the closest I've been to Moreton Island is what's the one next door? Bribey, which is like a giant retirement village.
Yeah. No, took the caravan over, had a wedding at Moreton on Monday last week, and had a couple of mates lined up that live in Brisbane, Gold Coast to come over. One of which came. The other one, his wife's due in 2 weeks, so she thought bouncing around in a four-wheel drive, climbing sand dunes, probably not the best idea when baby two's just about ready to pop.
Well, it depends how sick depends how sick of being pregnant she is. Like she's ready to.
It's a 90-minute
she wants it out. Might be the perfect thing.
So, yeah,
that's
but
all right.
loved it. And we went like over the long weekend, which over the long weekend, which you'd think would be the busiest time, on the island, but it was still so chill. Yeah, loved it. And first time taking the wagon on the sand, so that was an adventure. Got bogged to the balls pretty early on. Well, I dropped enough air out of the wagon, but I hadn't dropped enough out of the caravan, so it was like pulling a bloody snow sled, just ploughing. So I had to drop a bit more air out, and then I got through. I did the Max Tracks, which we just bought.
I did see you. I saw you on the I got bogged on Moreton Island Facebook page, I think.
Probably. Someone there filming, not helping. Arseholes.
And I'm going to say too, just for hang on, shut the fuck up for a minute. I was just going to say for the people listening, and because Lincoln's not here to tell us how it fucking works, there's I reckon a 2 to 5 second lag between you and I. So I'm trying very hard not to do my normal talk over the top of you, but it's being a bit unsuccessful at times.
Well, I'm trying another thing where I'm just not going to stop. We should be able to tell too, because as soon as one of us talks, that screen lights up in front of us, so we should see what's happening. Anyway, we were only chatting about it in a group chat yesterday, but this absolute fucking peanut on the ABC who's got some stats from somewhere. So I guess the stats are legitimate, but he obviously was just a tool. But I was talking to Kez this morning and, blew a bit of wind up her ass and said how well she handled the questions because they were all a bit fucking pear-shaped.
But she did.
I mean, of course the stats must be real if they're on the internet somewhere, but the long and short of it is, for those that weren't following the ABC yesterday, the only reason we were tuned in is because you were going to be on it, but they took Kez instead. So that's a bit funny. I imagine they probably looked at the Instagram profile and it was full of fucking podcast clips and went, not that cunt. Yeah, not on this hour. But yeah, talking about how there's a shortage of celebrants specifically in New South Wales, which I find very hard to believe because just looking at Hunter Valley Weddings Facebook page, as soon as somebody posts that they're looking for a celebrant for Saturday in October next year, and then you look at the comments and there's 50 fucking comments, all from a different celebrant, saying I'm available, or from someone recommending someone. It doesn't seem to be any shortage of celebrants in New South Wales.
There's 50 if it's an off day. Other days it's fucking 85 or whatever. Like, it's fucking wild, mate. Yeah. This idea, like when our good friend of the show, Lauren Hensby, messaged our chat and said, the ABC wants to talk to someone. Apparently there's a celebrant shortage in fucking New South Wales. I nearly fell off my chair, mate. Like, it's a fucking outrageous statement. So I've actually got Kez probably mentioned it to you because we both, I think, when there was a chance it was going to be me, the first person I contacted was Sarah Aird and said, can you throw some facts and figures at me? Because this is what these people are saying. Hit me. But she ended up coming back to Kez and I with the actual report, which is some fucking bullshit government department. But where they've gotten their stats from is not really very clear. So basically it's, I think you put it down to, it's a fucking stupid government department that fucking wouldn't know their ass from their elbow. But yeah, like you said,
there's probably a fair wedge that are celebrants,
shortage of celebrants.
And they're ticking the boxes. They're still a nurse, or they're still a engineer, or whatever they're doing in their day job,
even Kez,
and they're a celebrant on the side. So that's probably not in the numbers.
When Kez was talking that bloke yesterday, like even her, she's very busy and very popular celebrant, but she doesn't class it as her full-time gig either. So maybe that's some sort of, when I was thinking about it, what I really thought was it's more probably a case of, and Kez kind of touched on it, that
say exactly
they might be talking about rural areas. I can't even remember what I wrote in the chat. It was about the bloke being a fucking idiot for a start. But
there's probably a shortage of celebrants who are willing to go to bumfuck for $350.
Yeah, there's a shortage of celebrants that are willing to go to bumfuck for $300. That's what there's a shortage of. There's fucking you could, mate, if you were getting married tomorrow at fucking 3:00 in the morning, you could get a fucking celebrant. Like the idea that there's a shortage is ludicrous. There's never been, and actually, I'm going to say on my list, and I've got on my list that's been there for fucking ages, right at the bottom, that I wanted to bring up with you. It says, why are there so many new, younger celebrants?
Well, I'm 30 now, so I don't think
that was a genuine question. I thought
doesn't count me into that. Yeah.
No. Well, certainly, look, if people could, want to jump on YouTube and have a look at the fucking Santa Claus grey beard on me, it obviously doesn't include me either. But
statistically,
at the moment, it just seems like there's a fucking. Oh, mate, that actual report that we were talking about, I tried to fly it while I was on the toilet earlier today because I'd learned all the Philippines facts I can, obviously. So I was looking up another report, and I think it said the median age was 56.
Yeah, right. So what are you, 12 years to get there?
So we're well below that. Yeah. But that other, like saying that, I just was going to say, it seems like every time you turn around now, there's some new fucking, mostly women, which is obviously no problem. It's a female heavy industry or segment of the wedding industry.
Yeah.
But there seems to be heaps at the moment. And I was just like, why is there what's the influx, do you reckon? Like why? And I thought about it, and I don't know what you think, but I thought it's because there's a few of us out there now doing it differently to, let's say how it's been done for the 40 years previously. And they think, oh, that looks great. I can do that.
Yeah. Probably, similar reason to how I got into it. You only got to go to a few and realise how shit and boring they are and think, fuck, I could do that a bit better. And maybe everyone's just, that's still the reason people are getting in. It's definitely
and I think too, it was a bit like the blokes. I'm just moving on from that. The thing the bloke said yesterday, like he was like, but he said to Kez, I obviously talk for a living. Would it be, is that something that I could do? Blah blah blah. And I thought about it later, and there's a heap of people I think that do it thinking, look, and I'm going to shit on a broad range of celebrants now who are like, well, I love love. Like I can get up there and talk about, I'm a lover of love. I can talk about love, but I was thinking about it and I thought it's a bit like being mildly funny and all your mates going, oh, you should be a stand-up comedian. And the truth is there's not many people that should be a stand-up comedian because they're shit. Like they might be able to tell a joke, but they can't get up on stage and do the thing. And I suspect that there's an element of that in celebrancy as well, where someone's been encouraged to do it, and then it's it's a horse of a different colour when you have to get up and do it, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. I've got a fun wedding story. I think you'll appreciate this one. So the last 3 weeks have been pretty mental. I had three separate trips to Queensland, and all bar this last one at Morden where I could actually have a week on the island, which was nice. The other two were classic fucking Monty Harron, where I've got an overnight trip between 2 different states and I'm emceeing both ends. So finish up in Queensland at 9 p.m, get in the wagon, get to Newey at 5 a.m. and back up.
The old emceeing at both ends, eh?
That's it. Yeah. I find it's most effective if you put a no-dose in here and a no-dose up there and they train crash in the middle. So that really hits you at that 2 a.m.
Yeah, that makes the middle, we used to call that.
Yeah. Anyway, one of my couples, Corey and Rach, up at Brunel Homestead in Laidley, which is kind of, I don't know, it's like near the Toowoomba, Gold Coast, somewhere in between in the mountains. Beautiful spot. Anyway, he's a school teacher, and I've had one before, actually. He's a principal, and I had one before where the vows were written and they were great, but then in the moment, they were not read from the card. It was more impromptu, like they're speaking at a school assembly, and it was fucking shithouse. Corey didn't do that, though. He nailed it, and, like, really good talker. Anyway, in his speech at the reception, and it was all pretty vanilla up until this point, but at the reception, he absolutely, like, they did a co-hosted speech, which was so good, bounced off each other, but he kind of ripped her a new one, which was fucking hilarious because he talked about how until they started living together, he genuinely did not know as a 20-something-year-old that girls shit. So, and he learned pretty quickly, and he's, you know, so
Pardon?
there was a lot of toilet humour in. Yeah. Is this news to you?
No, it's not news to me. I have a fairly basic fundamental knowledge of how humans work.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was talking about how that was news to him, and he kind of elaborated on that a fair bit. And then his clanger, the line in the thank you speech was, "If I have to piss anyone's shit off the bowl for the rest of my life, I'm so glad it's yours."
Jesus Christ.
Which was so unexpected because he's like, you know, not posh, but kind of put together, and like it just, this speech just kind of took a turn no one was expecting, and it was just so loose and like it was great. Anyway.
Wowza. That's
my wedding story.
You'll never hear at another wedding ever again.
And it had come up a few times in their quiz. Like he told me about it. I was like, I don't like toilet chat, so I'm not using it in the ceremony. And I didn't need to because it still got used at some point through the day.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm going to use that to lead in part of their story. Do you know Larapinta Trail in the Northern Territory?
No.
It's a 70-kilometre hike through the McDonnell Ranges, like a lot of vertical, a lot of pretty hectic, bloody rough terrain. Anyway, they did that with zero preparation as like a, you know, couples bonding experience, and realised 2 days in that they made a terrible, terrible error.
That was a fucking terrible mistake.
Yeah, he was a sweetheart. She had huge blisters, so he swapped shoes with her, so she had, you know, a bit bigger shoe to wrap her feet up in. And then she realised that was to his detriment because her feet are 2 sizes smaller than his, so he was in a fair bit more pain at the end of it than her. The reason I'm mentioning the Larapinta Trail, though, is because I got an email from our good friend Donna George, who you will remember from Camp Quality and Jenny's Place.
I do.
Both charities we have supported in the past with the 2 Montys charity weddings. Anyway, Donna is still part of Jenny's Place, and they are organising a Larapinta trek, which is, it's called Champions for Change. It's an all men's trek, and basically they're trying to start a pretty big movement, you know, like a men focused bloody, you know, they need to be the ones that having the conversations and making the change to help bloody curb the domestic violence and family violence trend. So she has sent me a message asking if I want to do the trail, but obviously I got weddings booked. So somehow we'll get Lincoln to put a link in the show notes to the info pack. Looks like a bloody great adventure. 7 days hiking through the McDonnell Ranges, and it's all about, well, you know, getting the conversations happening for Jenny's Place and trying to end the scourge that is domestic violence in Australia.
Yeah, for sure.
We will put some info in that.
That's very good.
And on that same vein of bloody trekking like there's no tomorrow, have you seen what Ned Brockman's doing at the moment?
Oh, good, because that was either going to go one of 2 ways. It was either going to go in the same vein of domestic violence. Let me tell you this other story.
No. No. Have you been keeping up with Ned?
Good. Only very vaguely.
So he's running 1,000 miles which is 1,600 kilometres, trying to raise $10 million for We Are Mobilised that to end homelessness.
Isn't
in
it like
Australia.
in 10 days or something?
But that's like, yeah, so 160 Ks a day. So it's the equivalent of like 30 or 40 marathons or something. Absolutely mental.
Yeah, right.
And like, I don't know. Obviously, running from Perth to Bondi wasn't fucked enough. So he's just an absolute weapon.
because there's one of the blokes at the gym. He's young fella who's 20 or 21 or something. He's doing 10 Ks a day for 10 days. Like that's the tie-in fundraiser I think with it. But they were saying in our group chat the other day that old mate's feet have gone from a size 9 to a size 12.
Yeah. You should say it's like clown shoes on him when you see the videos of him running around there. I think he's at Sydney Olympic Park or something, going round and round. Which I think is more of a mental hurdle. Like when I used to run back in the day, I had to run somewhere. If I was doing laps, you feel like you're getting fucking nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So
no.
And it, like obviously going from Perth to Bondi, he know where he started and where he's finishing up. So going round and round Sydney Olympic
right.
track.
There's a definite goal.
A bit more of a mission, I think.
There's a goal that you're aiming for.
Yeah. Good on him. Well, that's my list done. Thanks for coming.
We're really like, instead of talking about like just the stupidest shit ever, we've talked about some actual, life-changing, decent people doing decent things stuff, and it's making me feel very uncomfortable.
Which makes us good people. Makes us look really good for bringing those topics to life.
Does it? Does it really?
From the comfort of our fucking swivel chairs.
Yeah, don't worry. I keep looking at the time thinking, I need to go and get a beer in a minute.
Well, I'm on standby to go back and
drive
the truck.
So I can let you know we're at about the 22-minute mark, so we've got about 8 minutes. There's the Lincoln in me coming out. So I'm going to use some of that to say I'm going to take another swing at our mate Adam Seeney from the Better Late Than Never podcast, I think. What is it called? Anyway, no, I'll give it a proper plug because I'm going to shit on him. I'm going to give him a proper plug. So it's the Left on Wed podcast, where you get bite-sized chunks of important wedding information. Or so I'm told, because I've never listened to it. But apart from that, I'm sure it's wonderful. But I wrote this down ages ago, and it's because I used to have a shot at you about it. But when you used to do the fucking spinning Instagram reels, and I kept messaging you going, "Stop fucking spinning around. It's so annoying, eh?"
Lazy Susans. Yeah, I know.
The Lazy Susan. Yeah, no, you don't. And so Adam Seeney, stop using the fucking Zoom function to fucking go in and out on your fucking head all the time, mate. It's fucking gut churning, and I don't need to see up your nose, and neither does anyone else. And now I'm going to have heaps of fucking Adam Seeney fangirls coming at me, and I don't give a fuck. Stop doing it.
Oh, that's funny. No, I do love a spin. I can't stop moving in.
Back to our traditional programming.
That's it. Have you got anything else on your list?
I've got heaps of shit, mate. You told me, you said I've got heaps of shit to talk about.
I do have one.
Okay. Or do you want to say, is it because we're going to have a guest for an episode, which we don't know when we're going to broadcast it, but do you want to save it for her, or is it something for us?
No, actually, it's probably not worth doing.
It's not even worth reading out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm just trying to have a look here. So my sister-in-law, Lauren. So this is Hugo and Willow's mum, who you'll remember from previous posts and photos, etc. She messaged the other day.
Know who they are.
She messaged the other day with a recommendation for how we sign off each episode.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm so why have we not thought of it before? And I'm so proud of her. She's pretty stoked too. But obviously we release these episodes every Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Yes. See you next Tuesday. Fucking hell.
I know.
That's so
on your Lauren.
That is so upsetting.
I know. Why do we?
I know. What the fuck? To be honest, I think this should be the last episode. Like the fact that we didn't fucking think of it.
We're always fuck-eyed. We're absolutely stonkered by the time we finish the episode.
Believe. I can't fucking believe. We're 46 episodes in. I can't fucking believe it.
So, thank you very much.
I've done a lot of things that I've done a lot of things I should be ashamed of, and I'm not. And the fact I didn't think of that is definitely one.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
She's done well.
Oh, that's outrageous. Moving
forward, we've given her the plug. We don't have to give her credit from any point past 47.
No, yeah, she's got the plug. That's ours from now on. Mind you, people will be thinking we've stolen it from the fucking Northern Territory tourism campaign.
True. Yeah. Very clever also.
Right,
hit me. What do you got?
I've got some other
I've actually got a word in this episode, which is a nice change.
Oh, mate, and don't worry, you'll fucking. I'm trying. I'm trying real hard, Ringo. I'm trying real hard.
I appreciate it.
I've got and as often happens, I write things on the list either when I'm drunk or in a hurry, and then when I go to read the list, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, why is that there? Why is this a thing? And one of them, it just says yummy mummies, and I don't know why that's on there.
You think maybe that was supposed to be a wank bank note, not a podcast topic?
No. Maybe it was supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be a search online.
Oh shit! I've written down all the things I shouldn't mention in a podcast.
Yeah. Where do I buy tan pants? Enter yummy mummies. Enter. So anyway, I'm all for them. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I've written it down on my list because obviously they're on my mind. So yeah, there you go. I can cross that off now. I'll probably just leave it there so I can bring it up again at a later date for no reason.
Here
you go. I have got one for you that I'm going to briefly touch on it because this is a good one to end on, I reckon, because we're at about 27 minutes. So I got told this story, and then I was like, I should not mention the venue or who told me. And the person goes, you can say, I don't give a fuck. And I went, great. So good friend of the show, Alex, who's Howie mentioned him in this week's episode, last week's episode, about he was the drummer. He plays drums with him all the time. He's a drummer at his wedding. Hair cuts my beard. No, I think he's probably a better drummer than I shouldn't say that. I don't know which one. Anyway, moving right along. He was telling me, and I didn't know this was a thing. So Surf House, we were talking about gigs at Surf House. And so he obviously has a drummer. He turns up with the drums and they go, we have a no drums policy here.
So what happens
there? Whether it still exists, well, he says he's pretty cluey. And that's how he said Alex doesn't like confrontation. And he goes, okay, that's weird, but you could just go and let the couple know that there will be no drums with their band tonight. That'd be great. And the venue goes, huh? And he goes, well, I'm not telling them. You're the one that's stopping me coming in. You can go and tell them. Oh, we'll let you go this time. But it turns out they have a no drums, no double bass policy. Or at least they did. Whether that's still around, I don't know. But no drums, no double bass at Surf House, which is like fucking bizarre.
It's like Byron Bay weddings. No wind instruments or fucking amplified music or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, at Fig Tree there, you're not allowed to have a PA and to amplify your voice. But I know why they're doing it. They've got a particularly problematic neighbour, I believe. So they're just trying to do the thing to stay in business. But like drums and double bass, like I'll give you the tip.
It's not a band without fucking drums.
But not only that, like a double bass, like an acoustic double bass versus a fucking DJ with 800 subwoofers and giant speakers playing fucking dance music. Like, I'm pretty sure that's going to piss your neighbours off more than old mate on the double bass and a snare drum.
Oh God,
it's fucking
now
bonkers.
You'll be. This is a bit of a sidetrack, but I just want to just see how you respond. Would you think this is gay slang?
Excellent.
If I told you I taught Dylan how to repack bearings on Sunday.
That is most certainly gay slang.
Oh,
what have you been doing, mate? I've been teaching a bloke to repack bearings. He repacked me. What'd you do Saturday night? I had my bearings repacked.
Well, I asked him, I said, do you want to learn? I've got to do it. I've just done a big trip. They're overdue. I need to repack them at 5,000. It's about 7,000. And I'm about to take the van up to Queensland again. So he goes, yep, no, teach me. And so we got out of the wagon. I got all the tools out. And then I go, so this is the wheel.
Got the gloves on?
He looks at me and goes, yeah. He goes, are you fucking serious? And I said, and this is the hub. He said, okay, I understand why you're putting things out now. Because he knew what a wheel was, but nothing further than that. This is the stub axle. Well, so we pulled the whole thing apart, pulled the bearings out, repacked them, put them back in. He did very, very well, and I got a photo to prove it. Otherwise, people wouldn't believe him. But then, of course, I sent the photo back to the farm, and Robert goes, oh, very good. I need him to come up immediately and do all the bearings in the drop deck semi. So that's a lot more bearings than what he did on my caravan. So his Christmas plans are sorted.
You go, yeah. Well, I'm thrilled to learn that he knows what a wheel is, and I'm pleased to know that that he did a sufficient job of packing your bearings. That's wonderful. And so, with that, we're at about 32 minutes. Lincoln's. Oh, hang on, sorry. What's that? Yeah, we're about 32 minutes. Mate, why don't you sign us out?
Thanks for listening, and as always, see you next Tuesday. Would have been good if we got that in sync, but we've obviously got the 5-second lag.
Yeah. Lincoln will sort something out, and I'm going to hit stop record, and let's hope everything goes to plan. Bye, everyone.
Ripper.